Joined from London by Manal Mahdi, who's a member of the Doctors for Human Rights in Sudan organization. Manal, thank you so much indeed for your time. We're into the 11th hour now of the truce. Have you got any news from Sudan about whether it's holding?
Well, the shooting was still ahead. I was able to contact my brother back home. It's just they could still hear the shooting early morning, but it's definitely easier than what it was. The situation is really catastrophic.
And what's the situation for people who need healthcare and assistance?
Well, the situation now is still, like the statistics are still coming up. I got some statistics here from 5 a.m. From this morning, the 24th of April, and we have like up till now 291 deaths, and yesterday alone we have like around 18 deaths, and 1,699 were injured. Of course, this is not the full data. It's still some we were not able to reach, as they are very remote, and due to the difficulties encountered in reaching the hospitals, and the Wi-Fi was down, and that's why it could be higher than that. Doctors in some of the hospitals that are still operating, they were there for more than 10 days now, and it's just really tiring and exhausting, and there is shortage of staffing as well. Like 71% of the hospitals now are out of service, out of the total hospitals in the country. And there were direct attacks to 13 hospitals. They were directly bombarded, and 19 were evacuated, including the patients. And there are about 6 ambulances that were attacked. So the total number of cases that are not stable and critical cases is increasing by the hour or by.
Yeah, I mean, the lucky ones, we're showing these pictures of Khartoum's main airport. The lucky ones may be able to be airlifted out. There are some kind of logistical problems apart from damage that's been done to the airport. But for locals, Manal, this is the most important situation. And we've had a resident of Khartoum saying that there's rubbish all over the country. He says there's sewage overflowing and it smells, and there's going to be outbreaks of illnesses because of that sewage. Even if he wants to go to a hospital, he says the hospital won't be there. We're just looking at death and destruction and destitution. And you mentioned the Wi-Fi shutdown. There was only about 2% coverage across Sudan a few hours ago. How much more challenging does that make it for people who either want to escape or need assistance, or even healthcare workers who are working in facilities that are still standing, however few they may be?
Yeah, of course, and it's very distressing and alarming, like people who are outside the country, who are trying to help their friends or their families and their neighbors, and they lost contact with them. That was very stressful for both sides, and the roads and the routes for the like the neighboring countries as well, where they're trying to flee the country and move to the neighboring countries, they're not safe either. So you can imagine the amount of mental stress and breakdown that everyone is facing right now.
I'm not actually sure anybody who has not experienced that situation before can even begin to understand it, Manal, but speaking to people like you helps us at least appreciate what's going on. Really, really thank you very much indeed, Manal Mahdi in London.